Hey, what's up, everybody? Billy Gnosis here with Hellcat Racing Network. We got Backbone here from Penta with Cats, our little guest racer to make things more interesting. So this is our first episode of 10 for the Raceman, and we're going to get started here shortly. We're going to do 3 laps on the old Vanderball, and I'm going to be in the spectator mode. So here we go. How you doing tonight, guys? You ready to do this, Backbone?
Yes, I am. Welcome, guys. I hope I can give you a good show.
I'm sure you will, man. I mean, these people, they watch me, so if they're going to watch me, they'll definitely watch you and be impressed.
Nice.
Right, so I'm ready to go whenever you guys are.
Let's do this.
So we're going to do, he's going to run a quick race for us, and we're going to fire 4 questions at him. And we'll do another race, another 4, and then the final race, and the last 3. And if he has anything to add at the end, we'll have a moment for him to talk about anything he wants to talk about.
I'm excited.
And he likes to focus, so I don't know if we're going to hear much from him during the race, and I'll try not to comment too much, but if something happens interesting, you know. But here we are in the
I hope I
spectator
don't
mode.
crash totally at the start. That would be awful.
3, 2, 1, go.
And there you go, out of the gate. Here we are, they're out of the gate, and we're watching, it doesn't say, we're watching Cats right now. There he goes. Looks like,
Yeah, he's got a little bit more practice than me.
it is just
And he
the,
beat my time.
yep, that just
on the
happened
leaderboard.
recently, is that, yep, Cats is on the
Yeah.
top now. Backbone is close behind. I have no doubt he'll catch back up.
Yeah, I blacked out there. Oh crap, that's far away. So this one is going to get. God damn it.
That was all up on. Oh, it said it's got the names backwards. I was watching Cats, and it says Cats is Backbone, and Backbone is Cats. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So we'll have this on a stream loop for a while today, so you can check this out later. Unfortunately, we were unable to record live due to some technical difficulties I had with YouTube. So.
Okay.
I have a little plaque out there.
Need to be out of practice. Should have practiced just a little before this.
Right? Some days you have off days and on days, you know. Some days I do great,
Yeah.
and some days I'm absolutely garbage. Huh?
But Katz is being a gentleman about it, giving me time to catch up.
Hey, you guys are amazing, though. It's impressive racing. Right, so I guess we'll start with our first question here, man. So,
Yeah, shoot.
number one to be, so like, what was your first interest? Were you a big fan of racing games always, or did you kind of stumble upon Star Citizen and then hit the Arena Commander and then realize that you're a pretty baller race pilot?
Yeah, I discovered Star Citizen. I backed it pretty early and then went idle for a while, but when I picked it back up, I started to do all of the persistent universe things, of course, first. But at one point, there's only so much you can do, and then you discover the arena commander and how competitive everything in there is. And then the racing, of course, was awesome. I like
Right.
racing a lot. I ride a motorcycle, and my father and I watched Formula One on the TV all the time, so that's a
That's
thing for me.
that's super cool. My dad also has a few motorcycles, and I think I may have just swindled him out of one, possibly. So that's pretty exciting. I mean,
Oh, nice.
so I guess we'll move on to the next question here. So, like when you're doing these tracks, do you study all these lines? Kind of like you mentioned, Formula One racing. So they do the same thing. You know, they'll study and basically memorize every corner of every track. Do you do that, or do you just kind of race it and figure out what's the fastest line on your own, or was there any preparation to that?
Well, I race and race and race, and sometimes I discover or have new ideas on how to do stuff, or take a corner or turn, and then I take some time and study that specific corner turn and try to improve there. But of course, you gotta learn the whole track, so you gotta know each turn, because if you don't, you will be stuck there looking where to go. So that's kind of basic.
Right, for sure. I mean, I definitely feel like the same way. I just raced and raced and raced, and I got a teaser video of one of the videos you with some parts kind of edited out there, and that kind of encouraged me to trying to figure out what was going on there. And I think it's helped improve a bit. If that wasn't there, I probably not have been so motivated to try to figure it out myself. And I'm like, I got point A and I got point B, and let's figure out what's going on in between.
Yeah, yeah. And I saw some videos of yours on YouTube, and you figured it out.
Right. I don't know. It's
Keep
kind
the
of
secret.
right. Yeah. Right. All right, so all right, on to our next question here. So, like, when you race, like for me particularly, I love like music and so on, and it definitely helps me to focus. And since I've been doing the streaming and YouTube hates when you use music without permission and all that nonsense, I've lost my music,
Yeah.
and I blame that a little bit for me losing my edge on my streams. But do you have any particular song or type of music that you really gets you stoked for racing?
Well, it differs. It differs a lot. I like the Chill Nation YouTube stream. It's more of a relaxed electro thing with some vocals in there. And then sometimes something completely different. I listen to ambient death metal. That's just the way it is.
And I'll have to look that. I've never heard of ambient death metal. I'm in everything. I listen to some hillbilly bluegrass music to your electronic and stuff, but I really tend to stay away from like the dubstep. Like that's just noise to me. Some people are gonna hate me for saying that, but just my opinion.
Yeah, well, music is very individual, and of course, everybody's free to listen to whatever he or she likes.
Well, sure. So that's our four questions for now. If you're ready for some more racing, I can hit this ready button and we can get rolling again. Looks like we're gonna hit up the
Hellcat
next
Memorial
track.
is the next racetrack.
Okay.
It's a medium difficulty racetrack. I like it a lot, but I'm not the fastest in my organization.
I think this
Energy
track's
he's
my
got
strong
pretty
point.
good time.
Hey, that guy is
Yeah.
good too. I haven't had much time to talk to him or seen him much on Spectrum, but he's an impressive racer, I'm sure. He's beaten you. This is my personal favorite. I think I got my best time on this. Even though I'm ranked higher on the short track, I'm more comfortable on this one. I think it run it more consistently.
2, 1, go.
And here we go. Let's watch another race, and they're off.
Oh my. Okay. So when someone flies very close to you, you sometimes get sucked into the turbulence, and then you die.
Hey, that's racing. There, rubbing is racing. You gotta get close. Lost my ability to tilt the camera on this round, so it looks like... Oh, never mind, there's a button to lock that. There we go, I'm unlocked. There's a button for that. get a good race here, Sam. There we go. Got my camera rotating back.
Yeah, camera controls are a little bit tricky to master. I haven't mastered them myself. I like the way the PU handles the cameras a lot more.
Right. I got like a mouse artifact going on right now, and that's the only thing that's kind of bothering me. And my mouse pointer is rolling around the screen with me. Looking good
Do you
though.
want to restart this race?
It's up to you. You guys want to run another
so
one?
Far, we're okay. Cats is in the lead. I'm close behind him, so should be alright.
There you go, we got some close racing. I had a sweet little view through the tunnel there. I'm not sure how I did that, but I liked it.
Nice. Oh, I think my afterburner fuel will run out. I'm down to 5% now.
How do you see that on the M50?
Well, there's a vertical indicator. Yeah, and I'm out. Just above your throttle. So
That shows like your
that will
boost.
show you when you run out. And now I gotta do the walk of shame back to the next gate.
Alright. I never really, you guys are definitely on your afterburners a lot more than I am. I've never ran out on this course. Like,
Yeah, if you want to go really fast, you just use the afterburner from start to finish.
it just, from my experience on the mouse and keyboard, it seems like when I do that, the blackouts are way harder to control versus tapping and, you know, letting off more often.
Oh,
But
yeah,
then
they
you're
are.
losing seconds, but... Especially with the invisible, with the third blackout, the whiteout or whatever, those, like, you don't even see that coming. Next thing you know, you're flying straight. And it's terrible, because some blackouts will cost you 10, 15 seconds on a race, you know, just for one simple mistake, and you're done.
Okay, how do we continue? More questions or another round of record?
If you wanted to do another round, we could do another round of that track if you were unsatisfied with your performance, or we can take another 4 questions. I'll leave it up to you.
Well, I can definitely do better, but I don't have to prove anything.
It's not proving anything here, but I would like to put together some kind of racing series or something similar to the Crooks Cup, but that's going to take a lot of time. Those guys put a lot of hard work into that, and so far I'm flying solo, so I have real life shit to take care of, you know. I definitely want to see like some dragonfly racing is something I'm stoked to see, like some planet side, you know, kind of deal.
Oh yeah, maybe we can take them in the canyons they showed earlier. That would
Right?
be nice.
Or do like a raid race or something, like point to point, and have the canyon just conveniently be in the middle. You know, you gotta find your way across this canyon to get to point B or whatever, you know.
Yeah, like a rally, like Paris-Dakar or something. Where,
Yeah, like a
where we
rally
have a
raid.
really long track.
Right? Or like, have you ever played like Dirt 3?
Yeah, a little bit.
When they do like the raid series, when it's kind of like a point to point, and there's really no roads, and they're just ripping across the desert or whatever to get to GPS point to GPS point or whatever. I think something like that. So it's the freedom of line. Like, you know, you think you got a better line and you don't, you know. But anywho, we'll go on with our next question here. So, like, you're with the Penta, and I've noticed recently that's like a professional gaming group. Like, how do you feel like is the energy with you guys? Are you a real competitive group, or do you try to help each other out as much as possible, or are you kind of like smack talking and trying to be number one?
Well, it's definitely a little bit competitive between the racers. But it's a friendly feeling in there. So everyone who managed to get a new best lap time will put in something in our Discord in the internal chat and say, look what I did, and here's a screenshot, or here's a video of how I did it, and yeah, so, and everybody will congratulate the other one after that, of course. So it's a very friendly atmosphere, but still, of course, competitive.
Right, I get racing games like the only kind of video game that really gets me going sometimes. Sometimes I'll get mad and I'll swear at the game, or I'll be mad at myself for missing a turn. And for me, it brings out kind of the worst in my competitive side when I get into a really hot race.
Yeah, for me it's like racing is more of a self-control exercise where you would have to control yourself not to go too fast, to not crash, because it's all about going slow and smooth, because that way you won't have to deal with blackouts or crashes that will subtract like anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 seconds from your lap time.
Right,
So
it's
the
ridiculous.
smoother you can get, the better you will race.
I've definitely noticed that. I was watching you guys, and I'm a lot more jerkier sometimes, but I like to drink and smoke and everything when I play. It sometimes works to my advantage and calm my nerves. Sometimes I think it's kind of counterproductive, but I'm just here for a good time. It's happened, to be decent sometimes, but most of my races are pretty garbage.
Yeah. Well, I started out that way too. I was like, when I came to Penta, I had like lap times of 2 minutes or something like that, and then the other guys were like, "Oh, come on, you're not a professional racer," and stuff like that. And I was like, "Yeah, wait a little. I'm gonna improve continuously and put in an hour each day in the evening or something like that, and then just work on my lap times." And that's what I did, and here we are now.
Right, is there any other, this isn't really a question, it just came to my mind randomly, but do you know of any plans of Star Citizen entering Major League Gaming or anything? Do you think this Star Citizen Racing will be good enough to, sponsor some more buzz and stuff?
Well, so to be interesting for a competitive esports kind of scenario, there's some things a game needs. The first thing would be to have something that can be sold in-game that not profits directly to the game company like CIG. So the professional gamer company group would have a way to generate income, or advertisements in the game or something like that, or little flair items they can create with like the Penta logo, like a flag the community can buy and put on their account or something like that.
Right, to kind of generate some revenue for them.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So
far,
back to, I guess, sorry, I didn't mean to throw that random question. It just came to mind, and I'm kind of a fly-by-the-pants, random wing-it kind of guy. But so we'll move on to the official question here. I just figured, I'd like to see Star Citizen Racing become something League of Legends is, and people get all excited about it, and there's followings all over the world. I'd love to see that come to, the Murray Cup or whatever you want to call it.
Well,
okay.
I don't want the League of Legends audience, to be honest, because the League of Legends community, how do I say this to not upset anyone? It's special, and it has a lot of flame in it. So the more you flame the other guys, the better you play, and the more
Alright, it's kind of like a troll fest in a way, I guess.
Yeah, it's not a very friendly environment,
right.
but it
Honestly,
can be fun if it's competitive.
Right, I never really followed professional gaming, to be honest. It's a new concept to me. I'm kind of surprised that it's taken off and there's people making a living off of, a game like League of Legends. Kind of blows my mind. But our next official question here is, the Misk Racer is an upcoming ship that's specified as a racer. Do you think that it'll be more competitive than the M50? I honestly think it kind of looks not as fast, but looks can be deceiving.
I think it will be so fluffy, I think I'm gonna die. No, seriously, I'm all hyped for the Racer. I like the colors, I like the shapes, I like the cockpit animation. Have you seen that in the ATV or whatever it was?
I
It
believe I
looked
did.
awesome.
It looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
It reminds me of like a Formula
yeah, and
1
also
car,
the
to be
fuel
honest.
generation and stuff like that will enable us to do much longer races.
I think it's going to be like the endurance ship. They said they're going to try to do niche ships or whatever, so there's not going to be a best ship for everything. Like right now, this M50 is dominating these short courses, but that's not going to be all the racing there's going to be. You know, there's going to be plenty more coming, I believe.
Yeah, I hope so. Would be nice.
Right, so we'll move on. So, joystick or keyboard, and what brand or setup do you got?
Um, well, flight sticks are the most immersive way to play the game, of course, and race on the track. However, I can be a lot more precise with the mouse and keyboard, since the mouse, with all of its DPI goodness, has very precise movements, and also the keyboard gives me instant max turn rate if I press a button. So with a joystick, I would move through 0 to 100%. Even if I do it very fast, there would be like a little bit of a delay. But by pressing D or A, I get the turn instantly. So I use mouse and keyboard, but I also have it extended with a pedal. Just one pedal for thrust, where I can regulate like the thrust. It's very intuitive if you drive a car or something like that.
I don't see that because like to me it's all or nothing with my throttle for the most part. I don't have like I can't like feather or do all those fancy car things you can do. That
Yeah,
fancy
yeah, you need
footwork.
a. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things you need to do if you want to race a little bit better. Is get a true axis, like a true input axis where you can go fast from like 20% to 60% to 80%, and not have to press and hold the button and then wait for the thrust to come up. So if you want to improve in racing, get a stick, get a pedal, or get something where you can regulate your thrust in a linear axis way. Make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I just realized I think I listed how I'm going to give these questions to you wrong, completely wrong at the beginning. I think I said 443, and that math doesn't add up. We're doing 433.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
just
we
hit me.
don't
I don't
have
know
to
if
be
I
like...
said that or not, but I feel like math is not my strong point, or really my riding skills are a little to be improved upon. But so we'll get another race going if you want. I guess we're on to our final race, which will be the forward link.
Yeah, it's Stafford Link. It's the longest and most complicated track.
This one, I
So let's
honestly
see.
can get kind of bored racing this track. I'm not as fast as you guys, and sometimes it can take like 7-8 minutes for this race to be done, and I'm just ready to take a nap by the end.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Alright, so I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Let's do this. Okay.
3,
2, 1, and they're off. Then I'm coming out of that gate.
How did I just black out? I don't even know.
And that seemed kind of random. I ask that a lot sometimes. It seems like they're uncalled for. I think their system might have a few bugs.
Yeah, I'm also recording this, so my computer is probably at max capacity at the moment. Computer performance is a big factor in racing.
Oh, definitely. Like the lag. That's why I was kind of curious if Germany being closer to the servers had an effect on your racing. You're gonna get a better ping than, someone further away from the main servers.
I don't know. Ping should be fine.
I'm gonna
I
ride
don't
like
want to
a.
make excuses. Maybe
Okay.
I'm just flying shitty today.
Yeah, we all have our days. Some days I run great, and other days, I'm getting beat by some guy in a Mustang. That seemed is that a blackout? Or that seemed like it was uncalled for from spectator mode.
Yeah, could be. Could have been a blackout from cats. Not too sure about that. And I managed to use up all my afterburn fuel again.
I'm sure you're well aware, but slowing down in that start area refuels your boost a lot. Oh, that's a new thing I learned a week or two ago.
Oh yeah, boosting is very important. So basically the corners, I just tap it once or twice. But if there's like big turns, then just press and hold it for a little while.
Okay, we got a close race again. We're back and got each other in view. I think somebody may have blacked out. Nope, they're moving again. Oh, and down. Yeah, the name's wrong. It's
I don't
saying
even
I'm
know
watching you, but I think I've been watching cats this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very responsive for me. Okay.
This is the long racer for 4 minutes down and still on the second lap now. I don't think
That's the second lap.
my lap counter still says 1, so I guess I don't really know what lap you guys are on.
That's probably because you didn't fly through the gate or anything as a spectator.
All right. We got two out of inside again. We have a race again, ladies and gentlemen. Some good racing here tonight. Or this morning. Night for you guys, so, you know, the world's all time zones.
Yeah, the time zones and stuff really makes it difficult.
I don't know, I'm pretty pretty flexible at getting around and trying to find someone to buddy up with in the EU time zones. Help cover more stuff when I'm unable to be around.
Yeah.
Good races
In the
there.
US, you got a lot of people to play with. Guys in Australia or somewhere, they really need to look harder.
Right. I just found, like, I don't know. At night, it seems like there's like the 3 Fox guy and Franzen, and they're my main competitors. Other than that, there's not many good racers in my time zones, it seems like. Hopefully, you know, we can get some more in the game and check out our videos, you know, learn, you know, turn that G-Safe off is step one to, you know.
Yep, definitely.
I just see people in like the M50 and stuff, and they're doing terrible, and you just know they have the G-Safe on. It's not lack of skill or not good enough ship, it's they don't have the knowledge.
Yep, there should be like a disclaimer before you enter racing, or like just turn it off by default in racing mode if you can do that in the engine.
Right. Hopefully someday we'll be able to customize those parts of our ships and stuff. Like I hate having to set up my multi-displays every time I get in when some ships I like them set up a little differently. But we'll get...
Oh yeah, like customization where you take off the guns or get a turbo or something.
Right. And when you I don't know, do a lot of dogfighting, I'm sure you do, but when you regroup your weapons, it doesn't seem to save, and you have to, every time you respawn, you got to go in and reset your weapon groupings.
Well, I just put all weapon groups on one button. That's my solution for that, and then I monoboat my ship.
Right. Alright, so we have 3 questions left, and we'll get started with one of the official questions here. So, like 3.0, I think it got pushed back again. I kind of stopped following the development on the dates because they always tend to change. But any feature that you're super excited for about the new 3.0 type?
Well, maybe new racetracks if they integrated them. I'm not sure, but there's the Grimhex racetrack and stuff like that, so that would be nice. But in general, like new content, just give a little bit more content and maybe more players in the server so we can do more.
Right. So I don't know. That's something I'm unaware of. There's going to be a racetrack near Grimhex. Is that going to be like a PU feature potentially, or is that this to be a new racetrack for Arena Commander? You think?
Now it's gonna be PU features. There's gonna be different kinds of challenges all around the verse and in different locations. So there will be a Shion race, a Bano race, like a Bad Boy race, which is more like Drake related, and then a racetrack around Grimhex and stuff like that.
Nice. That's
So you
super
would have
exciting.
to fly there, register and stuff, and then that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really stoked. I'd like to see like some planet side races, like like some like I said before, Dragonfly series. I'm super stoked for it. Be kind of like motorcycle racing, but planet side. Or not planet side. I forget what game I'm playing. Star Citizen.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the Defford Link and Rickard Memorial, Old Vanderbilt racetracks, they look very urban. So they're probably based in some city or some planet surface.
So that's another question I had, well, not for like you, but I was wondering about is where New Horizons is supposed to be in like the Star Citizen universe. But we'll get to the official
Again,
questions.
I didn't get the...
Oh, I was just curious, like if there was set in lore where like the New Horizons Speedway is, like what planet or system are we supposed to be on?
Oh. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not that deep in the lore and stuff either. It's one of those things I wonder every once in a while, you know, like it's where is that supposed to be? Because this might be where I want to put my corporate headquarters or whatever, where I want to choose to spawn when the game starts.
Yeah, I like the lore and the lore makers, Guide to the Galaxy and all about that, but sometimes it's just too much to read. I have looked into like a narrator or something that can just do text to speech and put it into
Zone
audio
out.
files while driving.
Right. That'd be a good idea. Someone
But
in
it
the
didn't come
community
around to
might
do that
get
yet.
that together. They're good at stuff like that. We have a great community out there. So, guess they're on the
Definitely.
question 8 of 10 here. So, we got two kind of big events coming up, I suppose. You got the Crooks Cup. It's opening for registration here in a couple of days, as well as the RAC Open, which is just kind of a free-for-all. If you get put in, you race. You gonna register for any of these? You plan to compete?
Yeah, most definitely will compete with the Crooks Cup. I tried to do it last year, but the company sent me away for an exhibition. And yeah, definitely gonna register for the Crooks Cup. I think they're still waiting to open the registrations because they want to see the 3.0 features and adapt if anything changes for racing and stuff like that.
Right. Let's run the last question here, which is a pretty general one. And it's any advice for new racers out there that are getting started or thinking about joining the Star Citizen community?
Oh yeah, well just do it. Racing is the best way to generate rental credits, and with rental credits you can check out all the different ships. So it's the fastest way to generate rental credits. If you want to get into racing, you need at first like a ship that can fly good, that has good flight mechanics, and those are the smaller type ships. Like the Buccaneer is amazingly good for racing. It's not like M50 level, but it's very good. Then to get you started, you could use a Merlin for 2000 rec or something, and then just grind a little bit of rec until you can afford the 10k for an M50 to rent. And of course, turn off that G-Safe, and if you can, use a true access for thrust. And that's about it.
Well, sweet, man. You have anything you'd like to say to the world? Anything going on at Pento? Or you have any projects or anything going on you'd like the community to know about, or whoever will check out this video?
Um, well, just keep calm and feed the space whale.
Right, just gotta watch out.
Watch out for the space whale.
For sure.
It was a fun thing the Buck Smasher said in the last Happy Hour Friday stream.
I remember something mentioned in one of the lore makers or something about like a rock or an asteroid at one of the planets. It's supposed to be like the space whale. So I think it's gonna become a running theme and like a community joke. It sounds like.
Yeah, probably. And it's good fun, so.
And I think it kind of has its roots in probably Hitchhiker's Guide with the whole whale and space thing at the beginning or middle,
Oh,
whenever
yeah.
that was. I have a feeling that's where it's kind of referencing back to that.
That's a very good book and a funny movie.
Alright, I never read the book, but
Okay,
I've seen both the movies. The British one is better than our shitty American remake or whoever made the more recent one. I didn't like it as much.
okay, I haven't watched the earlier one, the British one. I have to look into that.
It's like a series, I think, more than like a movie, but it was like a BBC series. I'm pretty sure. I don't. I'm not. I suck with actors and stuff, but I liked it more than the modern movie. But the effects and shit obviously are way more cheesy, but it's still a good movie or show. I don't want to keep calling it a movie, but it was a series. I know. I
Yeah.
guess that about wraps it up. If you have nothing else to say, we'll end this stream, and hopefully we'll see you some other time on here, some other event or something. We'll see what I can get working up to get people to check out this racing community.
Before you leave, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Oh no, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on here, man. It's good. You know, I'm pretty sure people are gonna like hearing from the number 2 guy now. Unfortunately, Cats came and took your crown away right before your big show or whatever. But you know,
I'm gonna get it back. I'm
it's
gonna
just
work real hard.
game on, right? Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
being
of
here,
course.
man, and fly safe. And maybe I'll see you can stomp me in a race at some point or another again. You know.
Of course, let's race sometime.
Sure. Well, I guess I'll see you in the verse or whatever it is these kids are saying nowadays. And fly safe, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow. Backbone has, I believe, a channel. I'll put it in the description. You can go follow, check out his official racing videos. And Penta as well, I guess. I mean, they're professional gaming groups. I'm sure they got a lot of good stuff going on out there. And
Yep.
signing off.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, later.
Bye-bye.